Ad Astra Abyssosk. If you're not...
Leo Lee Pavilion. Best Lee food in town.
Lady Ningguang.
Sorry to have kept...
No.
Great. Well, this is the trap. She happened to be in Leo. Do you mind?
No, not at all. I've always been fascinated by you. Oh, I'm Luo Qiao, a businesswoman. I work mostly in the textile business, but recently I've been considering branching out into... That's what I wanted to...
Rumors?
You know. You haven't heard? Come on. You must know that Lady Ning... And if you didn't have some sort of special relationship, why would she invite you to this lunch, right?
Interesting. Yes, the Traveler is even putting...
Oh,
You're comparing... I've missed out on an...
investment opportunity.
No.
Oh, but...
If it were really... I had my secretary, so I would advise...
I see.
In my opinion, long-term, it's very difficult.
You think so too, huh? Okay, got it. If maybe it'd be... Lady Ningguang, thank you.
Good.
Now I see why you were able... You think clearly. You are very knowledgeable.
You've been listening for a while. Are you getting bored? Has it sparked an interest in the business world for you? Ah, so you want to be my competitor. Well then, I suppose I'll have to start looking over my shoulder. Or how about this? I'll invest in you early on, before you make it big.
I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you. This lunch was...
See you next time. Right then. I'm a little concerned. Good, then let's do that. There are some slippery characters among the bidders, you see. So, even though my secretaries are very capable and experienced, I still can't help worrying for them a little. Come on, the auction is being held at Yujing Terrace.
master finds out.
Lady Ningguang, what brings you here?
I couldn't help but feel a little concerned, so I just came to see how everything is going.
We're about ready, and people are starting to arrive. I think we should be able to start on time.
Very good. I think I'll host the auction myself.
Huh? You want to do it yourself?
Yes, just in case anything untoward happens. I can take care of it myself.
Then we'll leave the auction itself to you. But we'll be sure to lend our full support behind the scenes.
Have you attended an auction before? Well, would you like to participate this time? You don't have to bid, of course. Just experience the atmosphere. All right, then. Feel free to take a look around the venue before it kicks off. Check out the items up for bidding and see if there's anything you might be interested in. While we're waiting for the auction to begin, feel free to check out the lots or just stretch your legs. Maybe you'll find something that catches your eye. It's about time to start. Find yourself somewhere to sit and we'll kick things off. Yes? What is it? That's for you to make a considered judgment on. It's precisely what makes auctions so interesting, don't you think? Until the bids exceed the value of the item you're after, you can keep raising the price. If the bids go beyond what you can accept, then you let someone else take it. Perhaps this does not result in what you might call a fair price, but what it does do is identify the person who values the item the most. Yes, you should look forward to it. The first lot is a teacup from my personal collection. Bids starting at 10,000 mora. That's 10,000 mora for the teacup.
20,000!
30,000!
50,000.
80,000! 80,000 over here!
I'll raise that to 100,000!
120.
All right, 150,000. Anyone else want to keep going now?
150 once?
170.
180,000.
180 once? 180 twice? 180. Sold!
Yeah, it's mine now.
Okay then, moving straight on to the next lot. You seem to be getting quite into it. What a shame that you didn't manage to go home with anything. Of course it did. That's because I didn't come here to sell my things. I'm sure you must find it quite odd that all these everyday items could fetch such a huge price at auction. Since you're curious, why not go and talk to the buyers? I'm sure they'll give you the answers you're looking for.
Today wasn't my day. Didn't manage to snag much. There were too many bidders, and they all seemed like experts to me. I guess I'll just have to wait for the next auction. Someday, I'll be the lucky one.
Everyone hold hands!
Huh? You want to know why I paid so much? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Because the previous owner was Lady Ningguang. Sure, the item may look pretty ordinary, but that's probably just because I'm not a connoisseur, so I don't know how to appreciate it. But I figured I'd buy it first, then go get it appraised by an expert. Then I'll be rich.
I may have paid an arm and a leg for this, but in the end, I got the result I wanted. Nothing of Ningguang's could ever be overinflated. I'm far from the only buyer who believes that owned by Ningguang is worth paying a premium for. So how much I make just depends on how many people are even bigger fans of Ningguang than I am.
Well, did you find the answer yet? That's certainly part of it, but every bidder will have noticed that none of these items have a particularly high going rate on the market in and of themselves. Despite this, they were all willing to pay very dearly for them. I wonder, is faith in me really the only factor in their appraisal of the item's value? You'll see shortly. The one who spent the most money will surely be the quickest to realize. If all I wanted to do was make some quick mora by exploiting their blind faith in me, I have a million more effective ways of achieving that than hosting an auction. Every participant in this auction was handpicked by me, based on certain intelligence.
Lady Ningguang, something doesn't seem quite right with the items from today's auction. As unlikely as this sounds, and please forgive me for even bringing it up, but I had to ask. You weren't selling counterfeits today, were you?
Counterfeits? Absolutely not. What motive would anyone have for making copies of things like these? They are simply ordinary items, and there was no coercion or enticement during the auction. Every bid was voluntary.
Because we trusted you! Everyone knows that you love Mora, but we also know that you made your fortune through honest means, as opposed to scamming people.
You seem to have entered into dangerous linguistic territory there. You should know that unless you have evidence to support your outlandish claims, I am legally entitled to sue you for slander. Of course, if you have any genuine grievances about the auction, the lots, or the process, Please enlighten me as to where exactly I went wrong.
You... Fine. Yes, technically, it was all legitimate. Guess all I can do is take the loss. But if word gets out about today's auction, people are gonna start seeing you as a con artist. No one would dare do business with you after that. I guess what I'm saying is this really in your best interests?
Let me answer that with a question. You claim that you were willing to pay a high price because you trusted me. But is that really the full story?
What do you mean? What else could it be?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps it could be something to do with a lost item from the original Jade Chamber collection that has quietly made its way into your hands. When the Jade Chamber fell, countless valuable items from my collection plunged into the sea. I organized a salvage operation, but still there were many items unaccounted for. A considerable number of these made their way back into Liyue Harbor through means unbeknownst to me, and passed through several pairs of hands before finally ending up in yours, and those of your fellow bidders today.
Wait, you mean...
Yes. Everyone attending the auction today is in possession of lost property belonging to me. Or, to put it another way, they were all people who have had a taste of something that was mine and convinced themselves that I am someone to be taken advantage of. So I ask you again, your high bidding price, was it motivated by trust, or was it greed? The sole reason I held this auction is to reclaim my treasured possessions. If you are willing to return what is mine, I will refund all the money you spent in the auction today.
All right, fine. I guess I'll return it. You drive a hard bargain, like everyone says. I'll go and get it right now. Please just wait here.
Despite his bad attitude, he cooperated in the end. Good for him. The issue was that all items of mine that have been fished out of the sea have changed hands numerous times already. Determining who has legal ownership would be an extremely long-winded process, with each item being assessed on a case-by-case basis. Even Yenfei says she'd have a difficult time defending my claims. I could have bought them back, but it's not in my nature to pay twice for the same thing. Least of all, when they'd be looking to make a handsome profit from my misfortune. After making some inquiries, I found them to be most uncooperative, so I had to resort to this auction to finally put a stop to all this nonsense. I just wanted my things back. Hardly an unusual sentiment. At most, a little childish perhaps, which is another reason why I didn't tell anybody about my plan. What do you think it was about the Jade Chamber that defeated Osile? Well, I think it was a combination of the weight and the energy it contains. Its great weight meant that it hit Osile with incredible force, while the energy within triggered that spectacular explosion. Every piece of the Jade Chamber, from the stone walls and wooden beams down to the smallest ornament, contributed to its total weight. But in the end, they became objects of merchants' greed. It's hard not to get a little irked thinking about it. Thank you for understanding. Now I've got one of my items back. Let me show you what makes it so special. The secrets of history shine through in the relics that survive. And this one now has the story of another age to tell.
see everything. Ad Astra Ab... Thank you for completing...
think I may have...
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
Adventurer! You can last around against me.
If you're not sure what to do next, how about it? If you wanna watch.
Yes, I'm already awake. I'll be out in a moment. I'm just changing. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Oh, how strange. Me too. I'm joking, of course. I slept like a baby. Sorry to disappoint you. So, what's item 1 on today's schedule? I imagine this must have taken Baisher completely by... Sure. My schedule is usually so it'll be quite nice to take a... I don't often feel... Still. So then. Something interesting. Because as far as most people are concerned, Mora is the key to any... Yes, you're absolutely right. This is what I want to do something a little self-indulgent. Thank you. I was born into a humble family. Fishing isn't... A lot of the old folks like to brag about how I used to be the... They were tough. If I didn't make... I want to relive, so how about it? Will you join me? Great. We're not to use our status or rep. The goal is to see how... I can see why you'd suggest that. You're thinking I could use my knowledge of how Mora works to my advantage and make a lot of money there. But Northland Bank is a special case. I rather suspect I would not be welcome there. Yes, and also... Never mind. I'll just show you. It won't eat up too much time. I expect they still hold a grudge against me to this day.
Auto reconfiguration is an essential function.
Lady Ningguang, I would hope that you're not here to create further trouble for the Fatui. With all due respect, too much official pressure will risk driving our bank out of business.
There's no need to be so hostile. I'm just here to talk business. So, are you in business or not?
That depends on the proposal, and it's not my decision alone. But first, tell me, why should we believe that you really are here for business? Because if you're here to make us suffer huge losses like last time, then I'm sorry, but none of us here can afford that.
Straight to the point, I see. Works for me. Traveler, we're leaving. Let's not waste any more of our time here.
Stabilize!
Do you see what I mean now? Their attitude was just as I expected. That's for sure. Although our diplomatic relations with Snezhnaya haven't broken down completely. I dealt them a rather ruthless blow with the size of the reparations payment I imposed. This sum was paid by Northland Bank, so they are still wary of me to this day. Yes, with some exceptions, but that is more or less correct. If you encounter them in any other nations during your travels, be on your guard. They are more than just a commercial organization. That's okay. My intention here was to show you some of the repercussions of that great battle. But that's quite enough politics for today. Let's get back to our fun little survival game. Now that you mention it, yes. We're being watched. What are they plotting this time? My thoughts exactly. But we need to be discreet. If they realize we're onto them, then we'll lose the element of surprise. Let's act natural, determine who our tail is, then lure them somewhere more deserted so we can catch them. Keep moving, just walk forward at a normal pace and don't do anything to give away that we suspect anything. Okay, I think we have a few potential suspects. There's a lot of foot traffic here, but if you look closely, you'll see only a handful of people have been watching us constantly. But I'm still not sure which of them is our tail. Agreed. Whoever it is will continue to follow us. I think we've narrowed it down a little further. But let's stay calm until we're 100% sure. It shouldn't take much longer. I think I have the answer. Let's get out of his line of sight and sneak up on him. Don't get the wrong person, though, or all our efforts will have been for nothing.
What are you doing?
Come now. Did you really think we wouldn't notice you sneaking around?
What? I'm not doing anything.
I don't know what scheme Northland Bank has in the works, and I don't know what they're paying you. But let's make a deal. How cooperative you are now decides how much immunity I give you when this gets investigated. Or do you seriously think Northland Bank won't throw you to the wolves when push comes to shove? Why don't you weigh the pros and cons and give me a clear answer before I retract my offer?
Sorry, Lady Ningguang. My assignment was just to follow you, I promise, that's it. When you showed up unannounced at Northland Bank, everyone was instantly on high alert. We figured you must be up to something, but your brief conversation left us none the wiser as to your intentions. We couldn't just overlook it. We had to get to the bottom of it before we could put our minds at rest.
I know they're wary of me, but this is still an overreaction, surely. This all feels very suspicious. There must be more to this than he is letting on. I only took you there to demonstrate how tense things are. Somehow we only tested the waters, but ended up with the catch of the day. Is there anyone else following us besides you?
Yes. They would have seen this and reported back.
Then we need to get moving. The longer they have to react, the fewer clues they'll leave behind. No time. I'll just have to improvise. Keep him with you. Do not let him slip away.
Are you saying that Ningguang hasn't done anything? Impossible! She wouldn't have shown up here out of the blue without good reason. Keep investigating. We must ascertain her intentions.
So much commotion. This must be an important meeting.
Oh, great.
It looks like I wasn't supposed to be privy to the contents of this particular meeting. This simplifies things.
So, you are here to investigate us after all. Where did you get wind of this?
That doesn't matter. What matters is that I made a brief and inconsequential visit, and your first reaction was to immediately arrange a sizable surveillance operation with myself as the target. You couldn't have advertised your guilty conscience more clearly if you'd tried. You may as well come clean. You know I will not turn a blind eye to any violation of the rules in Liyue Harbor.
Even if we cooperate with her investigation, she's bound to find problems even where there are none. Well, if you're such a stickler for the rules, you can carry out your investigation by the book. The Northland Bank has no obligation to cooperate, even with a member of the Liyue Qixing.
Fine by me. Then I'll take my time. But you'll be begging to tell me everything by the time I'm through.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references.
Finally, a seat with a view. And with that, the fate of the Bourgeois Brotherhood was sealed. Wow.